and we are going to be touring one of the oldest houses in Galveston, right?
It is the oldest house in Galveston. It was built in 1838 for a Frenchman named Michel Menard. It's not pronounced Michael, which sometimes people think.
We are on 33rd Street here. From what I've read, this home was built here because it was one of the highest points on the island, right?
Exactly. So this area of the island naturally occurring is on a high ridge. So at the time this house was built in the 1830s and some of the other ones around it, they were all built here, one, because it was away from downtown, didn't smell bad, there wasn't commerce and goods going on, but you could also have more land, and it was naturally high. So there's a little bit of a ridge here, and even during Hurricane Ike, this did not flood at all.
Wow.
It's kind of a misconception. Some of the oldest houses in Galveston are in the surrounding neighborhoods here. The Williams house is built in 1839, this is 1838, but there are many houses on blocks over from here that are in the 1860s Greek Revival style that are pretty common for this neighborhood.
Beautiful.
What makes this house a little bit different than other houses in Galveston at this time is you can see that it has, you know, fancy columns, has Doric columns on them, capitals, I think they're Doric, which is fairly unusual for Galveston at this time, and that's because this house was shipped from Maine, and they used craftspeople in Maine who had a little bit more experience with wood carving. That would have not have been what Galveston was like in 1838. They had no one here that could have cut wood like this. So the house is built on a Greek Revival style, which in the period of architecture in the United States, Greek Revival was what was the current fancy at the time. And so pretty unusual for an area like Galveston or in Texas in the 1830s. The craftsmanship here was a little bit more crude, as they like to call it in architecture books and things like that. So this was a bit of an anomaly. He was the founder of the city of Galveston. They drew the plat maps. So I think this was called like the out boundaries or something like that. And so the lots were bigger this way because this was considered the country.
Yeah, right? I can't imagine that.
Yeah, which now is so weird being that, you know, downtown is just at 20th. Yeah. I mean, we're at 33rd, so definitely. Like anything here in town in the 1830s, is there was no trees in Galveston at that time. So this house would have had direct breezes from the Gulf. And one of the reasons for the porches on it is so that you could have that breeze access, because it would have been a flat stretch between here and the Gulf, which is so much differently when you see these oak trees, which we believe these were planted around the same time that a lot of the other oak trees in Galveston were planted after the 1900 storm.
Let's head inside.